Hi Gemini, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your July 2024 Career Tarot Reading. This is where we're going to look at your finances, your career, your job. Where is it that you want to make a shift, possibly in your job or career path, or maybe this is about you moving on to a different area of your job and career, such as retirement, or you're entering into a new phase of your work world. This is a really good time also to be looking at where you are at in 2024. Are you right on track with your goals of where you wanted to succeed? And are you gaining the prosperity that you want to? So this is a really great way to check in on those questions, okay? Now, Gemini, if you haven't already taken a look at those July 2024 general tarot readings, I do have them up underneath of the monthly tarot reading playlist. I will leave a link below. This is a really great way for you also to get a feel of what we are working with the energies, okay? All right, Gemini, I will leave all of the important dates below and let's go week by week. You start off with the 5 of Wands. I will tell you the last 3 signs, let's see, Taurus and Aries have also gotten the 5 of Wands. So I just think it's interesting that so many signs are getting this energy of kind of like combativeness. And I do think that that Mars energy, especially during this month entering into Gemini, is going to have a huge effect on you all especially, okay? All right, you also have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse the first week. Second week finds you with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, as well as the Moon card, Piscean energy there in the upright. Third week finds you with the 7 of Wands in reverse, as well as the Queen of Wands. So you already have 2 queens on the ground here, and fourth week finds you with the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse and the King of Swords by the end of the month. So definitely looks like there's some important people in play during this month around your finances, around your job, especially with the 2 queens and the king. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon card, major arcana. So yeah, something's going on here, especially with 5 and 7 of Wands. So let's take a look at what is the energy spirit that Gemini was dealing with back in June. If you could send them a card to know what is the energy they're bringing into the month of July. And you have the Queen of Cups again, also in the reverse. So the Queen of Cups is that energy of how are you feeling intuitively connected, if you are feeling like you are able to voice your opinion freely. Are you feeling like you're emotionally connected to this job, the people that you work with? I do think it's interesting that this Queen of Cups in reverse is what you are leaving out of June and coming into July with, but you also have it here the second week of the month. So this is showing that this energy is still around you, and you're really going to need to connect, Gemini, to figure out, is this a feeling that is going to get better? Is this a feeling that you need to work with in order to feel emotionally connected to what you are doing? If you believe in the job that you are carrying out, that type of thing. So I think that's really important, especially because it has showed up twice in your reading. Lastly, Spirit, if you could send my Geminis an oracle message. What is it that they need to know for the month of July? And you have Passion Ignited. So I think it's interesting that this card has shown up, because I was just mentioning with that Queen of Cups, are you feeling connected? Are you feeling like you are at a place that you are respected, that you are appreciated, but also that you are enjoying and you're not feeling like it's drudgery every day to go to work, or you're really not feeling respected by your colleagues or your boss or the organization that you're with. You don't really like their morals. These type of things are going to be interesting this month, because passion ignited means you all are feeling some type of passion, and maybe it's not at your job. Maybe this is a side project you've been working on. Maybe it's time for you to start putting more energy into this passion ignited. And whatever that is, Gemini, coming through for you, this may turn into a job later on. So really, if you have a hobby or if you have something in that regard, really keep that in mind. Okay, so as I'm looking over your month, what I think is interesting is that you're starting off with this 5 of Wands in reverse, which could mean that you're no longer having these quarrels, if you will, back and forth with colleagues or people at your work. But my concern is that this Wheel of Fortune is in reverse along with the 5 of Wands. So just keep that in mind, that some negative energy could come from that. And that Moon card, I don't think all the information is quite out for you to even know what this is about. And I do feel like by the time you get to the 3rd and 4th week of the month, there's some important people making some plans for you, okay? That Queen of Wands, King of Swords, you are really feeling confident by the end of the month that you can make a firm decision as to whether this is a group you want to stay with. I do feel like your finances don't feel like they're where you want to be by the end of the month, but we will take it week by week and see what the astrological energies that line up with the cards, okay? So we came out of June off of the heels of Saturn retrograding in the sign of Pisces. When we come into July, we now have Neptune retrograding in Pisces on the 2nd. Mercury enters Leo also on the 2nd. And then we have a new moon in Cancer on the 5th. During this time, you have this Wheel of Fortune and 5 of Wands both in reverse. There is this tension kind of building here, but not necessarily like this huge blown out fight is occurring, but it does feel like there's differences of opinion here. And it does feel like that Wheel of Fortune is showing you that there's some kind of twist of fate that steps in during these first few weeks of July that could actually set you on a different path. That's what I'm hearing. It feels like you don't have quite all the information around why it is that you're set on a different path, and it will trickle out over the month and may take into August before you're really getting all the news. Because with the Moon card is that card of that Piscean energy, and with Neptune and Saturn now retrograde both in Pisces, I feel like everything looks different than it really is. And I do think that this Moon and Queen of Cups, emotional ties, emotional energy, just be careful that you're not getting too emotionally attached to people and circumstances, okay? That 2nd week of the month, we do have Venus entering Leo on the 11th, and then the Sun in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces. So emotional connections going on during this week. And I do think that some of you are like, okay, let me just get through this energy before I'm making any important decisions. And I think that's going to be really important, especially with that repeat of the Queen of Cups, both in reverse. You're just feeling a little too emotional to make like sound decisions right now. So keep that in mind. Now, by the time you get to the 3rd week of July, this is when we have Mars entering your sign, Gemini, on the 20th. When Mars enters your sign, combative conversations could occur, or people just have like this more action-oriented tone in their conversation. And it just feels like you are tired of feeling like you're the only one working, or you're the only one like dealing with all of these problems or challenges at work. And I do feel like there's someone important that you're able to go talk to. And I think that's really important, because I do think as we have that 2nd Capricorn full moon on the 21st, and then the Sun enters Leo on the 22nd. During this week, this is a lot of energy around where is it that you're feeling good about your job, your daily grind? Where is it that you're able to have courage to speak up to someone? And I do feel like that's what that Queen of Wands is showing. Like, you're going to be able to find someone to share this information with. You're not going to feel like you're alone. And I do think that's when this passion ignited could come in, where you're sharing with someone that you trust, that, you're not quite sure if this is where you want to be. You really have a side job that's picking up, and you might need to, put more attention there. So keep that in mind as well. And as we end the month, we have Mercury entering Virgo on the 25th, and then we have Chiron retrograde beginning on the 26th. During this time, I will tell you, Gemini, that King of Swords and Five of Pentacles in reverse, an important decision is made by time you get to the end of the month, or you're feeling more confident about your finances. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the last decision that is made, but with this King of Swords and that Queen of Wands, it does feel like important people are like, hey, they have a really good point. Maybe they shouldn't have to stay, working later than what they really need to do, or maybe they deserve a vacation, or maybe they need, we need to consider them for a raise. There's something here where it feels like at one time you weren't feeling great about your finances, but now you're like, okay, I've been able to talk with, the higher ups. They see my point. So it does feel like at least there's a little bit of negotiation, but I would just warn you, Gemini, as you move through this energy, especially with Mars entering your sign, just be really fluid. Don't feel like you have to prove anything to anyone. Make sure that you're keeping this passion ignited. Keep that flame going so that you're not getting too washed up in this kind of emotional, not quite sure, airy-fairy energy, especially with Neptune in Pisces retrograde. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you, Gemini. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you would. Talk to you later.